Squadron. I just noticed the Chinook is a Boeing CH-47, which of course is the same number as the DC-3, which is a C-47. I never noticed that before. You probably knew all that, but it just occurred to me, CH-47 and C-47, both venerable and very useful transports. It does nothing really to improve the aircraft's performance, whereas with a twin-rotor helicopter like the Chinook, you're getting all the power out of both engines and both rotors. So it's just a bit of kit, really. He's the man sitting on the left-hand side, or the left-hand seat, right-hand side as we look at it at the moment, and Flight Attendant Brett Jones in the other seat, and crewman Sergeant Davy Hay. So here is the display of the Chinook. Look at that steep climb upwards, and watch what happens when he gets to the top of the climb. It's a good push, and over the nose goes, and nose down into a spiral descent. That grand sound as the blades slap. I always wonder how they don't hit each other, because there's a big overlap amongst those blades. Now I think I'm looking for a pedal turn as they go out to our left, that's to say pulling up and kicking a boot full of what would be the rudder in a fixed-wing aeroplane, yes, going almost vertically upwards, pivoting the aircraft round about that leading rotor. Roller coaster coming next, up and down, it's what it says really. Probably safer than doing it north of towers. Look at that. It does look uncomfortable. Quickly to avoid gunfire. That's a horny corkscrew. And now a spiraling descent coming back down again. Big rotor blades, they're 60 foot in diameter. Nearly 4,000 shaft horsepower each, and as we were saying, the front one goes anti-clockwise and the rear one goes clockwise. So their crew is either two pilots or a pilot and navigator. Two pilots today, carry 54 troops, 24 stretchers, total of 12.7 tons. Another of those quick stops, and stopping with the ramp open, I think. And I think if you can see, if you're close up there, you'll see the crewman, Sergeant Davy Hay, on the ramp there. He may even be waving, you never know. That ramp capable of taking small vehicles. Sideways down the runway. Strange undercarriage configuration, 4 wheels at the front, 2 at the back. Saying it carries 12.7 tons, but it can carry its own weight underslung underneath the helicopter on requires the weight of 10 family cars. Another of those spiral descents. Now when they come back to the display centre this time, I expect them to do something that I think looks pretty much like a loop. But we'll see. The Space Centre is the orange pyramid thing in the middle of the field, which I can't see. They're not going to do there. Today, I think they must have decided they don't quite have the height. Oh well, no, not quite. It's a sort of oblique loop going round in a very steep 360-degree turn. Don't have to if they've got wheels. With skids you're rather more falling based. But I think Brett Jones is going to put the rear wheels down at least. Looks to me like they must be nearly down, but you can see better than I. It's airborne going backwards. Must be a lot of draft coming in through the back doors. I suppose they're doing that. Nice power from 7 rockets right up also.
That was the best. Very impressive.
Next on your programme, James.
The 2XL aviation fleet, part of our fleet of aircraft. As I said, we have the Blaze aerobatic team. The 727 you can see is operated by 2XL under the partnership of T2 Aviation. Now the Blaze have escorted the 727 in. They're going to fly away. They'll be back a little bit later on to fly our full display for you. The 727 is going to remain with us for a little while longer. It's going to perform a display for you here this afternoon. Now as I said, the 727 is operated by 2XL under the partnership of T2. T2 holds the contract to supply Oil Spill Response Limited with a dispersant spray aircraft for any worldwide oil contingencies. So the aircraft that you can see here, this is GOSRB. It's one of the last 727s produced by Boeing, and it was specifically manufactured for FedEx for its domestic cargo operations. Now, Oil Spill Response is a company that is set up, and the major shareholders of the company are oil companies such as BP. And the role of the 727 within that company is to provide a capability to spray dispersant over the water. So the 727 that you can see is going to be modified. It was chosen for its range, dash speed and stability. Plus it has 3 engines, so it provides quite a lot of redundancy just in case one of those aircraft engines goes down during flight. Now, the concept of delivery is that this aircraft will fly at very low level over the sea where there's been an oil slick, spray the oil slick with approximately 17 tons of fluid in a suitable pattern to actually break the oil down and disperse it so as not to cause as little environmental hazard as possible. The sister aircraft to the one displaying here is GOSRA, and that was actually the very last production B727 built in 1984. That one is currently undergoing modifications to accept a newly developed and advanced spray system. And we're hoping that that will be ready in late autumn this year. And that system is actually being designed and manufactured, fitted and tested by various 2XL aviation departments. So 727 today, the aircraft is being captained by Dan Griffith. Dan is an ex-Royal Air Force pilot. He's amassed about 7,600 flying hours across a variety of more than 510 different types and marks of aircraft. That includes fighters, airliners, helicopters, gliders, airships and float planes. Senior First Officer on board today is Richie Matthews. Richie's had an RAF career that spans more than 27 years. He flew Jaguars at RAF Cosford and then moved to Lossiemouth as a qualified weapons instructor. Richie actually spent 3 years as a pilot with the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. That was between 1994 and 1997, where he flew as Red 2, 4 and then 8. Richie's last posting in the RAF was as the officer commanding for 51 Squadron during the final years of the Nimrod R1.
Oh,
Mike joined RAF Holton as an apprentice and served for 8 years. He's since flown many aircraft types and has also worked for British Airways, Virgin Atlantic and British Caledonian before coming to join QXL Aviation. Now the 727 is going to bend its way back down towards us, so if you're down there at the front of the crowd line, make sure you've got your camera ready. This is a nice slow turn now, the aircraft's going to come past us, and this is in landing configuration, just above landing speed, so make sure you get a good photo of this one, nice close-up of GOSRB. It's also going to be operating the 727 you've seen here within its charter cargo business. So the aircraft is capable of delivering up to 24 metric tons anywhere in the world. Now that's the last we're going to see of the 727. Next up we've got the blades going to be displaying for us. I know many of you here at Cosford will have seen the blades display before. It's actually our 10th display season this year, so we're celebrating an anniversary year, so we're very excited to be starting that season here at Cosford for you this afternoon. If you haven't seen the blades display before, then you're in for a real treat. I'm going to talk you through it. I'll be telling you where to look and what's happening in the cockpit as the pilots perform all of their manoeuvres. Now, all of the blades are former Red Arrow pilots. They all do before we introduce to you the blades.
I could see, it was just keep running up. Wait, this is wrong. This! So
if you look to the right, you can see the 727 flying in from the the right hand side, just over the tree line there.
Planes off, I've been sitting on
Coming at 270 knots there as it completes its final pass of the afternoon. Now, to celebrate the start of the 10th display season for the Blades, we're going to be running a photo competition at Cosford here. So if you're taking pictures throughout the displays, then make sure you get some good shots of the Blades. We have a new livery this year, and I'll be explaining to you a little bit more later on why we have that livery. But make sure you've got your cameras ready so that you can get some shots of the Blades in action, and if you get some good ones and you want to